Alright, I'm holding the XP Deus 2 remote. There's a gentleman over there on TreasureNet, you know, he's asking about the menu system, I guess. Like maybe he thinks it's too complicated. Well, I'm going to put this video link over there in that where he's asking about this. But I'm going to show this machine here. I'm going to turn it on. Now it has 0.71 version in it. Okay, you'll see it right there, 0.71. I had to put this in this machine. I had a beta version in it, but I can't talk about that, okay? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go to the menu here, okay? Now, this machine, the easiest way to think of this machine is the menu system, even though you see that word menu there in the center. Top left key, the center key, and the right key are all really part of the menu system. Okay, so you have a left portion, a center portion, which is under that menu, and the right over here. Okay, to keep this video shorter, to start with, this machine here, unlike the Manticore made by MindLab, a factory program in this machine that's unsaved will default back to default settings. The Manticore, when you change a setting and you turn it off, when you turn it back on, the settings are in the machine. Okay, we'll get that out of the way. So we're going to start first over here where it says GB, the top right button. Okay, there's not much under here really. Okay, you've got a ground grab number there, tracking on or off. You'll use your plus and minus keys like I did right here to turn it on and off. I turned it on, turned it off. Okay, ground stabilizer. This setting right here for most applications should stay out of 1. 2's a good setting. I believe default setting in Park program is 3. You could move that to 2. Okay. So that's really all that's really over on that right portion. See how simple that was? Okay, now you have this button here where my thumb is, bottom center here with that red dot on it. You can hold that to ground grab this machine, okay? That's a hotkey to ground, and then of course, you know, if you touch it and let go of it, that's your pinpoint. Now we're going to go over here to the left. More complicated, okay? That's your audio, okay? And whenever a menu item comes up, you'll hit select, and it's going to give you some options there, okay? Meaning you're gonna scroll plus or minus keys generally to adjust. Back arrow, anytime you get lost, just hit the back key. Okay, now I'm gonna scroll on down here. Settings. We go into this, okay, you're gonna see display. This is, I'm not gonna open it up, but that's where your display lighting would be. Okay. Diving, I'm not going to select that. That's your languages, different languages. You see the GB there, that's English. There's your clock, your profile. Here's where you'll use your plus or minus keys to get your ID bigger, get your XY screen up. Real simple. Okay, again, hit the back arrow to get back. Program, this is where you would go save a program. Okay, when you open that up, right here's where you're going to pair your devices. There's your call, your wireless headphones, there's your pin pointer. Okay, again you hit a back key to get back. Whoops, we're back to audio. So that's what's in the left side of this remote. Okay, that wasn't that hard. Okay, now we're going to the center here, the menu part. Now we're in the general program. You open this up, okay, you see your disk setting, so your plus or minus keys would adjust that, and you have that expert key over there. That's going to open up a sub menu, and I'm going to hit it right now. See that there? You get to select your tones. Again, you scroll around and select your tones, okay, and then you hit the expert key again, and it's going to let you go in there and set up your tone breaks and your tone pitch, okay. So we're going to scroll on down here. Sensitivity, that's pretty self-explanatory. Plus or minus keys to adjust it. Frequency shift. Now, this is where you would be manually doing a noise cancel, okay? Because this thing does have an auto feature on a frequency scan feature. There's a hotkey for it too. There's your iron volume. Now you'll notice you don't get an expert key with all these settings, so that tells you there's nothing else there. Your plus or minus to adjust your iron volume, that's the end of the road. Reactivity, notice there's no expert key. Audio response, no expert key. Oh, look at there. This, you get your expert key back. Okay, so that's it with the menu. It's not really that hard. Okay, but just remember it's left, right, and center, and when you get used to knowing where what is, you know which of these top 3 keys to hit to get into it. Okay, so now we're back on the detect screen there. Okay, it's not an overly complicated menu, to be honest with you. It's just what generally happens is when they put this in a book, I really wish they would have divided this thing in the book into like an action tree with a tree for each of these left, center, and right buttons here. That would make it easier for you to understand, but they itemize it, and you're only looking at one thing at a time in the book, see? And you're not referencing what's above it. So a tree, a menu tree would really help with this detector here. And if I had a big old white board, I could draw one up and put this camera on it, and it would show up a lot. It'd be a lot easier for somebody to understand, okay? And a person could look at it on a video, you know, and sort of study on that when they receive their unit and be navigating their unit looking at that, and they would have a real good fix on this machine, you know, to understand it better. Now, I didn't show everything in this menu, okay? Some of the sub-menus I didn't show, but I did show the ones. Now, the hotkeys on this machine, okay, that's that key there. I hold my thumb on, bottom center, hold that for ground grab. Top right key, that's your auto scan. But it's that's a manual scan, I should say. That's a manual scan, okay? You can go over here, and you go down here to settings. You'll see that right there says frequency scan. There's where you set auto scan. See there, I just set it to auto using the plus key. Minus would take it back to manual. Okay? Let me select that again there. There's where you're going to update. You're going to go right there's where you're going to update this remote. Okay? I'll open up this right here. There's your backlight on. Gives you a contrast adjustment, a brightness adjustment. And you also have a backlight time feature, okay? See there, 120 seconds. It'll shut off, 60, 10, off. Okay? Well, it's not that difficult, okay? The thing is, you just don't get a look at a lot of the menu options at first glance, you know. And the Manicore, you know, it doesn't probably, it's laid out simpler probably. I'll be honest with you, it's probably laid out simpler. And it's bigger. This one here, you know, it's smaller to read, okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video.